Hey y'all, what's going on? Been a little bit since I made a video, so I figured I'd take a few minutes here and talk to you guys a little bit about my expectations and plans for the 22 season. Similar to last year, put a lot of emphasis on Bassmaster. I'll have 5 events with Bassmaster this year, and then I'll also have the National Championship, which will make number 6. That just doesn't count as part of the regular season schedule. And then in addition to that, I'm going to put some focus on Hobie this year. I tried to put focus on Hobie in 22, but I had a really bad start in Hobie last year. I had a bad experience. It was a bad hotel situation. Bainbridge just wasn't friendly to me. It just an off event, and I didn't come back to Hobie, and that's on me more than it is anything. And then for the second event that I was supposed to fish, I made a choice. I ended up fishing out of the bass boat instead of fishing out of the kayak because there was quite a chunk of change on the line at my home pond. And it's hard to turn down an opportunity to fish an event and potentially win an event on the home pond. And so I made a choice. I compromised my opportunity to potentially make the talk by doing that last year. So that's on me. That's nothing against Hobie, but something that this year I'm going to work more towards making sure I fulfill the Hobie opportunity as well. So I'm looking at 4 events for Hobie, just to make sure I got some balance for the talk. If I can get 5 in, that would be great. I'm also potentially talking about fishing the Central Opens as a co-angler. And yes, I said Central Opens. A lot of people ask me, well, why aren't you fishing the Southern Opens as a co-angler? Well, the reality of the situation is the schedule just doesn't work. The Southern Opens all have conflicts with something that's going on. And so if I want to fish the Opens as a co-angler, I'm going to have to go to the Central Opens, which means I have to travel. On the bright side of being a co-angler, I don't have to tow my boat. I can kind of show up and I can practice with somebody and fish and kind of enjoy the opportunity and make the best of it and let what happens happen. I'm not so much there to win in the Opens as much as I am there to get the experience, because I'm putting a lot of thought into coming out in 23 and bringing out my bass boat in 23 and fishing the Opens as a pro. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. As far as lakes coming up this year, talk a little bit about what I'm excited about. We got Lake Fork on the schedule. Lake Fork's going to be very interesting because it's going to be pre-spawn this year. We got Santee Cooper. Santee Cooper is a lake I've never been to. I'm not the biggest fan of flipping and pitching cypress, but at the end of the day, I know there's some giants in that fishery, and since we'll be closer to the spawn from what I recall on the schedule, that should be an exciting event. There should be a lot of different ways to catch fish, and it shouldn't be so dependent on that. We're going to go down to Harris Chain. That should have some big fish numbers in it. Looking forward to that, very excited. I can't forget the National Championship for Bassmaster. That's here on Lake Russell. It's not my home lake, but it's pretty darn close to it. The fact that it's just one lake up the Savannah River chain, it basically puts it in my backyard, which is advantageous for me, and I just have to make the best of that opportunity. We'll see how that goes, of course. And then as we move through the season, I'm going back to Pickwick. For those that know about my blue trophy's from Pickwick, and I hope to put another one on the board when we go back. I'm probably going to have my work cut out for me at Pickwick. It's going to be a 2-day tournament. It's going to be in the fall. It's going to be a very different fishery. One of the things that disappoints me this year is that for everything on the schedule this year, the thing that I'm bothered most by is that there's not really any summer events. And the downside of not having any summer events is that the summer events make you work a different way than those people just chasing fish in the spring and in the fall. I don't want to say that the spring or the fall are easier times to fish. I definitely think the spring is a far easier time to fish than the summer is. But when it comes to the summer, people have to go learn other things, and that's one thing that made Pickwick very special for me. So on the last but not least sequence, something I haven't talked to a lot of people about is for 2022, I'm fishing as part of the Kayak Fishing League. I was asked to come to 2 different teams. The team that got to me first was the Southern Slayers, and I made a commitment to them. I was later asked to join another team, but I'm a man of my word, and I stand by my commitment. So I'll be fishing with the Southern Slayers and the KFL for 2022. That'll be the summertime this year, so we'll figure out how that's going to shake. Other than that, it's going to be a busy year. I look forward to it. For those of you that are going to see me on trail, Can't wait to see you guys out there. For those of you that are cheering us on from the sidelines or watching us from home, thank you for all your support and what you do for us as a community. We really appreciate it and look forward to it. In any case, I'll cut this here. Thank you again. Keep it real.